Hello everyone and welcome to Gearing 101. Today we'll be looking at dungeons and raids. This is the most grindy process of all the gearing processes, but it is the best way to get gear. It mainly relies on luck of loot drops though. The positives of it? The fact that raiding is super fun and it can be done with friends is more than enough. So, let's dive into a quick definition of dungeons and raids. Dungeons are just 5-man instances of around 4 to 5 bosses on average, with 1 piece dropping per boss. Raids are 10 to 30-man instances and have 6 to 12 bosses on average per raid, 2 pieces of loot, and for every 5 extra people you bring, you'll get an extra piece of loot on normal and heroic difficulty. There'll always be 2 options in my videos. You can either pause on each slide to read and mute me, or listen to me. I'll try and go into as much detail as possible. Let's get started. I'm going to split this up into 4 main categories: dungeons, world bosses, LFR, and raiding high mall. Dungeons have a 630 to 636 with a chance, very rare chance, of 665s. World bosses 650 to 656, with more coming in the next patch. Looking for raid and molten core event 640 to 646. The raiding high mall will be 655 all the way through to 691 on mythic difficulty. Dungeons. Once you're actually into dungeons, you will need a 610 eye level before you can actually queue, and silver proving grounds in your appropriate class that you intend to queue with. Go onto the group finder, press I, and select your role. You may still need proving grounds to do proving grounds. Talk to the woodman at your desk in the garrison, or the orc as Horde I believe, and he will let you queue for the proving grounds. You must complete it on a silver medal. The gear in dungeons is 630 to 636 Warforged. It has gem slots, extra stats, and this is essential. Get a full set. World bosses. There are 2 current live world bosses, and they are called Drov and Talner. Drov and Talner both have 650 to 656 Warforged gear and have gem slots and extra stats. It's good to do this once a week, but you will only receive 1 per boss. That doesn't mean you can kill both of them. You will only receive 1 total drop per week if you even are lucky enough. Don't use your extra rolls. Also, when Blackrock Foundry comes out, a new world boss will be released with 655 and 661 Warforged, so look out for that. Looking for Raid Part 3. Using the group finding tool, you can queue for LFR difficulty that will randomly put you into a group of 25 other players, which is a group of disaster. 640 to 646 gear is obtained from the bosses, and they do drop the legendary stones for the quest line, which will eventually get you a 690 ring in this patch, whereas in next patch it will be a 710 with a proc. Do all the bosses each week. Don't waste your extra rolls, it's really not worth it. You might as well just leave it at that. You want to keep your extra rolls for normal and heroic and mythic difficulties. Moving on to raiding. The most grindy part of gearing is going to be your high mall grind. Every week try and do as many bosses as you can, preferably 7 out of 7 on normal and heroic each week, and give a few mythic shots if you can. Without a guild it'll be hard to get mythic kills at the moment unless you're on a high population realm. Using the group finder, you go to pre-made dungeons and raids and search for the appropriate difficulty for your eye level. In my opinion, normal is 645, heroic is 655, mythic would be 655. These are my opinions. I wouldn't take anyone that was below this eye level, but you may get lucky and get a nice little boost from some higher level players. I will be adding a few quick tips of performance at the end of this video. Basically, get gems for any sockets that you have, enchant your rings, your necks and your cape for your primary stat. Go to guide websites such as Fatboss TV on YouTube for normal, heroic and even mythic guides on the encounters in high mall, and check out a few Blackrock guides that they're playing in the PTR. They're really quite interesting. Icy Veins has always been my favourite personal website that I use to learn my class, and I constantly check up on it to learn a few extra things in the updates.
I share the tactics I hope I inspire. Say that they know how but still stand in fire. Some are grinders like in Nihao. Some just watch us, seen rough Elmo in the chat.